What's happening, cats? Welcome back to the stream. Onwards and forwards with Cyberpunk music. Creating some soundtrack music for games and indie games and videos, and I basically just go through the process in detail here on the stream. You can watch me work, you can drop a comment, say hi, what's up. I've been working on this Cyberpunk stuff for the last couple of weeks, and it's coming along nicely. This has got an eastern feel to it, this one. And at the end of this whole project, I'm currently on track 6, but I'm going to be releasing this whole project via Patreon. So if that sounds good, you can subscribe, become a patron for free, or a paid patron. Either way, you'll get an email when I release something new. I make music templates, self-contained Ableton Live templates to be specific. There's a lot of buzz at the moment about Ableton 12 because it just launched and everyone is jumping on the bandwagon. Unfortunately, I am not going to upgrade yet because the templates I release, because Ableton's not backwards compatible. So if I release Ableton Live 12 templates, it makes it impossible for users of Live 11 and 10 and previous versions to use the music to edit the music, open the template files. So as far back as possible actually is in my interests. So I'm going to stick with Ableton 11 for a bit. And if you're into Ableton and downloading templates and working on something other than a blank slate, it's a great way to learn. I've got a library of self-contained templates already open at, we'll check out the link in the description, you'll get some free stuff, and that's the kind of, that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to immediately jump to a new project now. I've just actually saved this as number 6, and I'm going to move on to number 7. And we're going to start, as I always do, pretty much from scratch. I've got some of these files, like this list of channels, that it's kind of ready to go. But the actual composition itself is going to be from scratch, and you get to watch me and be a part of this journey with me. Okay. Down at the bottom here, I've got the entire Cyberpunk 2077 game soundtrack. I won't be playing it for you because I get flagged on YouTube for copyright, but what I am doing is listening to it in the background and finding references and inspirations for the tracks that I create. So very much sound-alikes of the actual game music. If that sounds good to you and you need sort of cyberpunk or dystopian influenced music for your productions or whatever, you can get in touch with me directly or just check it out online. I'll be releasing it to streaming services. I've got a bunch of stuff online. Just follow the links, you'll find it. Okay. So now what we haven't really done yet is, I don't think we've done a lot of the dubstep influenced stuff yet. So I think that's a good place to start. Let's just get a dubstep beat going. And I'm going to do that by loading up a kick. Okay, we can start with this. It's the wrong kick, but anyway, let's find the right one. Okay, this one over here. Let's just get our chain selector out. We'll be able to see better what we're doing. So this template over here, you can see it's got a get out the way. You can see it's got chain selectors, and these macros here are mapped to chain selectors, which means that by scrolling through these you'll get different kick sounds. So let's try that out. That's what I'm doing now. Let me just scroll through it with my actual MIDI control here. So here we go. This is kind of the fun part, is selecting the sounds. Now I've got to find one that sounds like the reference track, so I'm going to solo that out. It's quite slamming. It's got a slamming sound to it. Apologies, I'm feeling a bit sick today, so I'm not on top form, but hopefully I can just perform a bit for you guys. And I like this sound. It's a nice kick. lose the delay. I've put a bit of delay on this kick because in the previous track I needed it. Yeah, let's use this. I'd like to compress it too so that we get a nice... You can actually hear the tail of it. So I'm going to give it a bit of brick wall. Let's give it OTT. That's a good way to grab someone's attention. That's it. Okay, let's take that back, and it seems to have squashed all of the bass out of it, which is not what I want. Why don't we just use that as it is with a second kick? Let's just, because kick selection is important. There, that's a nice sounding kick. We can also search through the subs. I'm just finding a nice sound. I don't even have to... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, dubstep is around 131. I'm going to call it 135. Turn on a click and just get this going. Let's go. 3, 4. Okay. This is actually sounding more like an effect than a kick, but let's get on with it. It's fine. Okay, now we got that pretty much locked down. Let's get a nice... Let's quantize it, but not to a quarter. Quantize it to a 16th or maybe even an 1/8. I want everything to be max velocity. So it's actually not a kick, it's a sound effect. So I'm going to just get over to kit number 2 here and start triggering to make a dubstep beat. Okay. Okay, I'm just going back in time a little bit here to hear this. There, that's it. Okay, just listening to the reference track. Again, the sub bass creates a drone layer of just one tone throughout the whole track, basically. That's what we're going for here. It's got to be a little bit harsh. Okay, let's get that. That's the beat I'm going to do. Okay, let's try it again without this. Two. Okay, let's hear it again. I'm just getting the reference track. I want to do an exact sound alike of this. Dun, two, dun, dish, dun, dun, dish, dun. Okay, dun, dun, dish, dun, 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 dish, dun, 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 dish, dun, 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 dish, dun, 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 dish, dish, dun, bam, bam, dish, dun, dish, dun. It's the same kick. Let's not hear the same one. No. Boom. Dun dish dun. Dun 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 dish dun. Dun dish dun. Dun 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 dish dun. That's it. Cool. So we've got that part down now. Let's quantize max. Copy it. Velocity max. I wonder if it works now. What if we took out that second one? So just this gets muted. Anytime there's a fast collection of kicks gets muted. Okay, that's it. Making beats here in Ableton Live 11. And making beats for the release of template files. Okay, how about we just mute all of that except for the first ones. It's a nice kind of a... Yeah, that's better. Now we definitely need a clap with this. Let's get the clap in. Just clap and a snare. Get the clap chain selector here. Good, snare selector. Hear this one. Let's record. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'll do edits to that later. So now we've got that in the bag. What we do is just keep a simple beat going here, and then we work on how to get the rest up and running. Okay, cool. One more time listening to the reference track. Okay. We've got a fast moving, so 16th rhythm, 16th beat. Okay, listening. It's a kind of dirty, distorted lead sound that I think I might have a reference for. So in my collection over here, you'll see my stuff, and we're just going to navigate to the Cyberpunk folder. These are the patches that I've been collecting along the way while I've been writing these tracks and reusing them. So for example, texture, distorted rhythm bites, it's going to be somewhere in here. There it is. Let's take a listen to that. Good. I'll take off the filter and very rave, very kind of dubstep. That could work. What do we got here? This is the rapid rhythmic sort of addition. So we're just going to add one of these. Let's try that out. And we've lost a lot of volume for some reason. I have a feeling it's going to come back in spades. The reference track, the pre-master. There we go. For some reason the pre-master was down. Okay, let's go. Okay, now let's work with this a little bit. What we got to do now is just find a nice rhythm that works. I've got an arpeggiator on this sound over here, this instrument track. And you can see I've got a decay knob over here, which allows you to select how full what you want it to be, basically. So let's just get one of those running, standard operating procedure. And we can always take it out if it doesn't work for any reason. This bass sound is not actually working, so the kit sound is not actually working for me. That ugly sound is cool in... let's do it like this. Okay, we are going to just re-record this real quick, see if it works. Okay, let's go. I screwed that up. Let's try it again. Here we go. Go. One more time. Okay, now we're going to just quantize that. That one. Okay, good. Now we just got to take that volume down a little bit, I think. Take the OTT compressor off. No, take the bass off. That's a nice little ugly sound that works quite well. Now we're gonna switch over to this texture over here, which I always use. I try to use. 4 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 1 2. I'm going to do every second half. 2 1 2 3. I'm sick of doing that. 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2. Record 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 1 3 4 1. That's it. That's a little bit out of sync. Okay, good. We do need something to augment this beat, so let's hear it again. There's typically no hi-hats in dubstep stuff. My throat's a bit sore today, sorry, I'm feeling a bit raspy. Okay. Alright, now we're going to let's hear it out. Okay, I'm going to try to find a bass that suits. Okay, the bass is not arpeggiated here, so we'll turn that off. Decay it. I like the dirtiness of it. Again, it's useful to have that dirty sound. If I monoize it, then it's gonna maybe not create the right sounds. I'm not gonna monoize it. Let's try this again. Let's just try it with a beat. One thing we haven't really done is sidechain compression using the kick and the bass. 2 3 4. This might not be the right bass, so let's try a different one. I'm going to switch over to bass Creek Bank. Not really the right sound either that or it's just not being represented very well. Let's try it again. Creek Bank coming through, not too warm. Let's try to take that up to -6. Not bad. Let's try it again without the solo. Feeling that. Let's try it again with the crayon bass, another one that I've collected. Initially started as a reactor patch. This one's got a short attack and then a what sounds like a sub bass, the operator doing its work on the low end. We could do that kind of thing. Yep. It's the right ballpark. Let's try that out. Okay, let's go with that. 2 3 4 minor 1. -6. Try that as a kind of a baseline. Next thing I want to do, find a sidechain compressor, make sure that it ducks underneath. I'm going to just go with sidechain, my stuff, and utility. There should be a sidechain in there. Stick it on the bass and make sure that the source is the kick 2, and the channel inside kit 2 is not the 808, that's going to be too present. There are hundreds of different tracks here, so there we go. Now let's just solo out the 2 tracks that we are working with. There, that's the effect that we're going for. Every time the kick plays, you get a dip in the sub. Production 101. Okay, now let's lower this. This can just be a little bit more of like a lower bass line. Also getting way too much heat from this OTT, so I'm going to take it down 6 dB. Oh wait, that's not the target. The target is here. We want a bit of headroom in our mix, so I'm going to just open that up. And then that means the bass is also coming through a bit loud now, so let's take that down to 12. Alright, now at this point we don't have much overlapping in the low end. You've got the sub bass going. Maybe we should do a second sidechain on that. It's a bit muddy actually, yeah. Okay, what about this? We'll just change the actual arrangement. First we've got to quantize it and then just... Okay, we'll change it so that the arrangement, the actual clip itself, is less present. A lot of the time I find you get the results you're looking for when you subtract. So I'm going to go like this. 1, 2, 4. There we go. Now we've got a nice bass filling in the gaps left by the sub. So long as so I can't think. So long as that at any point you've got something happening kind of in the low end intentionally, even if that something is nothing happening. So you got dovetails quite nicely there. Alright, so look, this bass does sound a little bit cheesy still. Let's see if we can find a... Seems like a lot of it's just been stripped away, huh? Let's take out this auto filter, don't need that. And we might also have a little bit more juice in... Let's try and monoize it. No. Okay, let's hear just the operator. It's supposed to be a sub, but it's actually not going in very loud, so let's try to get the bass right basically. And while we're at it, I'm gonna lower down the this needs to come down. No, it actually doesn't. It's pretty badass. A net watcherer fork. Net watcherer says fork, and I say fork in return. Welcome to this channel where I'm making some beats in the style of cyberpunk music and using the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack as a reference. So here we are with the status of it so far. I started this track about 15 minutes ago. And welcome to the channel. What brings you here today? What's your journey? Are you an Ableton head? Are you just looking for a bit of fun and games, trolling the internet on your Thursday afternoon? Or what is your story, dude? I mean, besides being somebody who says fork, which is a pretty cool story on its own, Okay, I'm switching over to left, and let's see if we can get some shit going here. Let's take that down 12 dB and give us a bit of headroom there. Oh, this thing really slaps, this OTT compressor. And let's just get, I'm going to just drag this down, I'll get to the mixing later. Netwatcher, I'm also in love with the game. Yo man, I'm a producer. Netwatcher says, I love the OST, big respect, hoping to learn some little gems here. Merci, senor. Yeah, Ableton Head from Northern Ireland. Cool, dude. Nice. So you're kind of in my time zone. I'm from South Africa. I'm in Cape Town. I stream every day at this time, except for yesterday because I was sick. Still a bit sick. Yeah, there's like probably about 50 or maybe 40 different live streams of me making the beats for the this Sound-alike album in the last couple of weeks. So you can welcome to go check the live feed on my YouTube channel if you want to do that. Right now what I'm doing, it's no secret, like if you want to make good stuff you've got to like have a reference track. Took me so long to learn that. So I'm using the actual game soundtrack. You can see it here. You can't hear it, otherwise I'll get flagged on YouTube. But I've got a track that I'm listening to and I'm basically recreating it by ear, so like reverse engineering it. And my other little trick is that I use only Ableton default devices. I don't use third-party plugins and VSTs. And the reason for that is I give the templates away to patrons, so I include everything in the template. I don't, in that way it all just ships with Ableton Live 11 or later. No missing files or samples. Okay, we've got a long way to go here. What this track is currently missing, we've got, you know, a bass and a beat and some texture, and what I need is a pad to play out some of the sort of ugly melodies that we're trying to create here. Cool. Yeah, Ableton Head. Everyone's talking about Live 12 at the moment. Are you like up to speed on all the changes, and are you planning on getting it? Have you already got it? I don't know if I'm going to upgrade, because that means that if I make, you know, these beats in Live 12, then it minimizes the number of people that can actually use them, like limits it. So I want to actually just keep on making the stuff in Live 11. Okay, here's a nice low, dirty low one. Let's try and bring that cutoff up. This is a nice sounding pad and I've been using it repeatedly, but I'm going to try something different for this one. As you can see also on the left here, I'm creating Cyberpunk themed devices which I give away as part of the track itself. Sorry, in the background you will hear a vacuum cleaner. There's nothing I can do about that. Kind of sounds like it's part of the track, you know? Ooh. It's an F, and we're in the key of D minor, so it should... Tell you what we're going to do. Should we just get an F note drone in here just to kind of match the tone of the vacuum cleaner in the background? Okay, let's make some vacuum beats here. That's too low. Needs to be like a high-pitched whine. Enough fucking around. Okay, let's try and get this thing up and going. Okay, I'm not going for melody. This is soundtrack music. It doesn't have a lot of melody. Okay, listening to the reference track again. Here we go. Okay. Oh. It's the wrong sound. Let's change the wave, the algorithm or whatever. Netwatcher says, very interesting. I'll be sure to check out. Did you play the game yourself? What do you think of it? No, I haven't actually played the game because I don't have a game console, and I didn't also unfortunately don't have a lot of time to play. I'm honestly too busy just doing creative stuff. But I've watched some of the playthroughs on YouTube and it looks pretty dope. It's my type of game, you know. I like that type of thing, Black Mirror and like dystopian stuff. So yeah, I'd love to, at some future time when I've got like more time on my hands, it's definitely going to be top of the list. Have you played it yourself? This is a nice sound, but it's just not. This is like the bender. This is one we use just for like in between moments. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stretch out this arrangement so that we've got this 8-bar sequence. I'm going to set that up so that it's a 16-bar sequence instead. bass, same thing. We want to get a 16 bar sequence there. This texture just repeats once every bar. So now at the end of every 16 bars, we can do a down sweep like that. So let's get this length set to 16 bars, and just at the end, and just create a track there. Netwatcher says, yeah, I played it to death. True work of art. Yeah, so I've heard, man. It looks really cool, and I can tell you something. I've been listening and studying this soundtrack for like about 6 weeks now, and it's really good. It's a collection of sounds that they just paint the right picture, and it sounds so modern, you know. And you have to make it sound modern, because not only is it like got to sound up to date, it's got to sound like the future. So the stuff that the composer's using, it's like all these like really sophisticated plugins. Netwatcher says the Phantom Liberty motifs are special. Cool. I must make a note of that. In fact, so yeah, help me out here, man. Like I've already told you I haven't played the game. What is Phantom Liberty in the game? That's going to happen once every 16 bars. So we'll call that the last sort of the last bar where we spin out a nice beat. Let's go to the end of this 4-bar sequence here, and I'm just going to real quick just make a nice little ender beat over here. It's going to sound like this. No. That's it. Okay, cool. That's great. And it's the end of the 16 beat. We're going to get that little yeah. So is Phantom Liberty like a part of the game? Is it a part of the world? What is Phantom Liberty? Oh, the expansion pack, right? Super moody. Cool. So how's the game doing now? I noticed like about 2-3 years ago. Is it still its own thing? Is it still like being played a lot? Is there a lot of online stuff going on? There we go. That's cool. Okay, that's cool. I like that pad, except it needs to just start a little bit higher so that it feels like it lands on the root rather than just doesn't quite make it. Okay. So I found that, but what I'm actually looking for now, I'm going to cruise through the Ableton Live default library for a sound, and it's going to be, actually I'll start with the device, so we'll go to Wavetable, which is my favorite Ableton Live instrument. It's great. And it's, I'm going to find a nice, yeah, this type of thing. That type of thing, folded. Okay, so that's called fold back distortion. Let me just play it for you real quick. It's one of the defining sounds of Cyberpunk that I've been studying it for a couple of weeks now, trying to get the right sounds. Fold back distortion is one of the defining sounds. We've got dubstep as an influence, metal as an influence. This type of sound, this one here. That's fold back distortion. So I'm going to be using this, I think, as the sort of melody patch for this particular track. Okay, we're in D minor, so let's try with that. I don't like I want it to be like more of a glide, so I'm going to take the glide value up here. Okay, and the problem with it's not gliding because I've got too many voices, so if I change to mono, there we go. I've got a glide value of like 4 seconds, so it needs to be quicker. That's a nice sound there. Okay, a little bit trippy. Anytime you use glide or pitch modulation like this, it creates the impression of being like under the influence, so it's good for like club stuff. And it all started with like West Coast Lead. That was like the hip-hop style that popularized this like the GTA 5 soundtrack. If you're interested in that type of thing, there's the other pitch bend downer. Okay, now I'm going to just mess around with these different algorithms here. Oh, that's quite interesting. That could be a nice upper texture. I'm just scrolling down through this list real quick. Mod wheel polysynths, that's right, yeah. My mod wheel on this keyboard's broken, but pitch is working, so that's cool. And this little guy. So what is your gear, Netwatcher? What kind of gear do you use? How much time do you get to produce every week? Well, that's quite interesting. It's got old school radio, FM radio vibes on it. Okay, that's good. We got two voices here. One of them I'm not actually interested in. Oh, we got... Yeah, this is nice. This is nice because it's like a little bit... Grindsaw, what is good? How are you doing today? Thank you so much for your love in the comment the other day, man. Appreciate that. It was very encouraging. Some days I'm like, why am I doing this? And then you show up. Appreciate it, man. Netwatcher says, I take breaks, but going to sauna for some gaming. And some gaming. I was burnt out. Sauna. Dude, I would love to have a sauna. I used to go to the Jimjilbangs in Korea when I worked as a teacher in Seoul. And it's basically public bathhouses. It's pretty cool. You get in these like ice cold baths, and then you get into like hot baths, and you like get out, and no one gives a shit that your dong's hanging out. You get over that pretty quickly too. Okay, let's just cut the top on that. I don't like that sound. Let's just get it a little bit there. Netwatcher says, yeah, good for stress. Yeah, for sure. That's for damn sure. Cool. This can just be like another pad. This pad that I'm calling pad is actually more like a texture. It's just another layer that we can use it. Okay, so I've got my left hand on the pitch wheel. You can't really see it, but let me try and just reshift. Should be able to see a little bit of what I'm doing here. I like this. Netwatcher says, hot and cold therapy, good for stress, which comes from sitting down and listening to music for prolonged periods, especially lower frequencies. Sorry, my typing is atrocious. No judgment, bro. Yeah, totally agreed. I can feel it, like when you're done with, you know, that kind of down-to-earth grounding behavior or habit. I fantasize about just going and sitting cross-legged in a forest most days, you know. Grindsaw says, were you inspired by the game or animation Edge Runners? Bro, I watched Edge Runners and I loved it. It was a bit hectic though. What I mean by that is I found like there were like soundtracks being played underneath dialogue, but the soundtracks had lyrics. So there would be like a woman singing in Japanese, like, and they made no effort to hide it. And then there would be like dialogue on top of that. So it was a total overload to me because I'm like a millennial. I'm not used to like shit like that. But I get how like people who like, you know, far more digitally like native or savvy or whatever would be like, yeah, sure, it's just a bunch of shit going on. I get that that's who it was made for. So there's an overload and like very fast. But at first I thought like, I'm not going to make it through this. But then I got into the story of like David and how he basically takes over and shit. So I loved it, but I haven't played the game. Grindsaw. I don't have a console. How about this for a little patch? I'm going to record. Here we go. It's filthy. Okay, let's fine tune it. This... I like the high frequencies, but they're too loud. Let's see if we can separate them out a little bit. Okay, the whole thing is just kind of smashed into one. Okay, I'm going to just kill the highs. There, you can hear the mids that I'm kind of interested in. Good, there we go. We'll separate out that stuff later. This is interesting. I like this. This is holding my attention. But the highs still are a bit high. There we go. Let's add a second layer, and that will give it some depth, and also it'll balance it out nicely. So let's take this guy down. That's nice. I know there's not a lot of bass in this track at the moment, but we're getting there. Okay, I'm just going to move this back because I'm kind of straining to be in the right place. Okay. Okay, let's take this level up and take the whole thing down. And we'll change the oscillator on this one. Get a nicer sound. It's okay if this is just high for now, it's not. Giving it a bit of reverb. Just feeling this out. That's best so far. And then that last okay, so we're going to duplicate this 4 times. That'll give us 16 bar loop, and the last beat is just going to be muted. And let's also just take out every second one, otherwise it starts to get annoying, that kind of horrible feeling that things are just going on for too long. 2, 3, and 4. Damn, that sound dope, says Grindsaw. Shot. That's always say thanks in Cape Town. In Durban, also in South Africa, they also say shot, but they don't mean thanks. They mean like, that's cool. So if you go up to Durban, if you're from Cape Town and you go up to Durban, you're having a conversation with someone like, yeah, I went to this place and they were playing a sick beat, and the guy's like, shot. And you're like, what do you mean shot? Like, what do you mean thanks? Like, I'm telling you a story. There we go. Okay, so that's a nice sound there. Just a little bit loud still. And now I need to fill that gap with something. So we've got these texture channels over here on the right. Let me just get out the way. I'm going to just go through them one by one. These are channels from previous projects. That is a cool sound. I'm just going to kill it for a sec so I can hear what's going on. These are channels from previous projects that I've labeled as texture. They're various different Ableton devices. Everything in this channel is a default Ableton device, so you can hear it. You can get it in your native Ableton library. That's one sound. Here's another one. Let's just use the selector to go over. This one seems to be muted for some reason. Why are you muted, mother flip? Why are you muted? See, it's not a texture channel. Voice is fucked because I'm actually sick. That's not a texture channel. That's not a texture channel. That's just a dead audio channel. I remember now I used samples. I imported some samples. Okay, so that's 3 out the way, and then these last 2 over here. Let's just get them up. Oh, that's cool. That's nice and filthy. And then we'll take this one. There we go. That kind of thing works well too. So let's get one of those up. There we go. Okay, so I forgot we started this patch as a type of dubstep sound. Let's just search in the library for dubstep and see if there's anything that pops up. We do want a, no, not that, a dubstep influenced sound. Netwatcher says some nice, sharp, abstract, generative polysequence could be nice. How do I implement that? Do you know where to find that? Sharp, abstract, generative polysequence could be nice. So I know in the new Ableton they've got like Euclidean rhythms and patches, effects and devices for generating sounds, and I like that idea. Get a couple of arpeggiators. Cool, let's do that. That's a good sound. Let's try that out. In fact, let's do 2 things. There we go, cool. Okay, so you reckon a poly sequence, do you mean something tonal or something that sounds a bit more like this? What if we put a arpeggiator on this one? Let's set that up real quick. I'm going to just grab an arpeggiator. In fact, what I haven't done before is looking for audio or device MIDI effects and seeing what the presets are for arpeggiators. Let's try bouncy chords. I haven't tried that one before. And I'm going to stick that on this glitch and let's see how it sounds. Let's discover it together, shall we? That sounds pretty boring. Okay, good. Now you get generative sounding stuff when you Netwatcher says you can mess with parameter and generates cool stuff from sample MIDI patterns. Yes. Yeah, not 100% on how to use MIDI to generate the pattern. Maybe that's in a more recent version of this or something. But I like the idea of getting some stuff that sounds like it might be, generative. That's always good. Let's hear this out. NetWatcher says, say you write a single sustain note to trigger the ARPs. Okay, let's go with that. I'm going to just hit you up here with an F sharp. Boom. Let's duplicate it, just make it a bit longer. Cool. There it is. Got you. Something like that. So that ugly sound over here, this one over here, is that kind of what you mean? What we could also do, I like this. It sounds a bit like a random sequencing. They trigger the ARPs and it'll choke and get some abstract stuff. Good, I like that. So I do like this pattern, but let's just change to random other. And let's change the rate of this first one. No, the second one to lower. That's cool, but maybe a bit... yeah, that's cool. And let's see if we can... I'm changing the time signatures to weird things too. Auto the hold and make the final... the first ARP unsynced. Good. Alright, let's try that. Auto the hold and make the first ARP unsynced. I like this, man. A real-time collaboration. It's giving me 2 notes, but that's fine. I like it. I like the fact that I don't know when they're going to happen next. Depends on the MIDI clip. It will automate the rate. Yeah, we can also obviously go into automation here and do some, for example, the sync rates. So let's just create an automation curve here that is also random. That's not random. I haven't actually figured this out yet. What is this? Just a... the best way to get a random signal is just do this. So often you kind of kill your groove or whatever there. Let's see. NetWatcher says if you automate the rate, it will catch stuff as certain... sorry, there's a heart in the way. Can't really see what you're saying. At a certain millisecond, yeah, it'll catch stuff at a certain millisecond, right? Got you. Yeah, let's try it out. I'm gonna just screw around with this a bit more, I think, because I like the direction we're going in. NetWatcher, keep the second ARP on 16th, for example, and the first one tweak the rate unsynced. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I dig the fact that I don't know when the next thing's gonna trigger. So we're gonna keep that on 16, like you said. And then keep the first one, tweak the rate unsynced. I see what you mean. Cool, let me just map that quickly. Let's get that onto whatever, this one, 48. And I'm gonna also just, I get where you're going with this. You want this kind of thing, yeah. I get where you're going, right. So no matter, the first one's unsynced, but the second one's synced. So no matter what you do, it's always gonna be finding a quantized moment to play. It's never gonna sound unsynced. Got you. NetWatcher says it's controlled chaos, then resample the MIDI it spits out to a new channel, then use the new clip to put back inside. Okay, so I haven't done this before. This sounds great. Creating a new MIDI channel. Get out of the way. And we've got this MIDI channel here. So what do? Take the output of this, the MIDI output of this, to this. That's audio 2. How do we do it? And you automate the re-trigger and such, yeah. Resample the MIDI, it spits out to a new channel. Okay, you mean resample the audio. So actually just spit out the audio. Yeah, I see what you mean. You can go crazy with it. Grindsaw says, sounds like you broke into a cyber Yakuza club, started fighting with a big cyborg with a katana, and this music started. That's super cool, man. You guys are fucking dope, man. I like you. I don't love you yet. I'm not going to give you the heart emoji just yet, but, you know, I'm warming up to you. We'll get there. Let's hold hands. Okay, I also want to just make this a bit... I like this idea, bro. This is really cool. I'm going to just... mess around with this a bit more, I think. We definitely need to flesh out the low end, and we need some kind of pad sound. I've been trying to make that since the beginning of time. But yeah, first things first, I'm going to just bring all the current tracks that I'm using into one sort of place, make it easier to look at. Netwatcher good for drums, 2 short millisecond timing on the rate, turning the ARPs 10 on surround loops. Cool, yeah, let's go for it. Love this. Great, I'm glad, because I'm going to be back tomorrow to carry on working on it. Right now I've got to run off and buy a heater, so that's fun. Check this out. Let's just have a little fun before we go. No, it's not that one, it's this one. Super cool, yeah. Alright, yeah, we're going to bring out that low end, don't worry about it. Let's just get the... See, that's like basically not even like audible at the moment. There we go. Okay, let's bring it down here. Yeah, okay, so we'll keep that glitch layer going throughout the entire track as a type of erratic destabilizing element, which I like. It really feels good. And then we got to just create some kind of arrangement around this track, so bring it in slower. I don't do dance music arrangements because this is soundtrack music, but there will be a moment in this track quite soon, early on in the track, where it just kind of hits you, this kind of nice collection of sounds. Cool. Yeah, this is great. This has been probably my busiest stream ever, so thank you very much. I've been like showing up here every day for about 6 months now, 5 months it feels like. So it's nice to see getting you know, a little bit of notice from newcomers and general, like, you know, good vibes. So I appreciate it, guys. Netwatcher, you should contact the CDPR for the next game. Is that the maker of Cyberpunk? So good luck on your way to get the heater. Yeah, get your foot in the door. Yeah. I feel like yeah, I'm always on the fence about like whether I should take my music seriously, because I've been doing it for about 20 years. I've been making music up with computers for 20 years and uploading it for about 10. And it's kind of like nowhere near a career for me at least. But that's not stopping me from showing up here every day, because I just can't stop making it. And it's also just community, you know, like finding other people like me who sit in dark rooms and make, you know, edgy music for the Creative Commons community is like, that's something I'm always gonna do, you know. Cool dudes, let me get out of here before my deal falls apart. So yeah, thank you so much, Big Love. Thank you very much for joining today. I will be back. I will see you guys around, and I'm gonna think of you guys every time I hear this glitchy little arpeggiated vibe in the background. This is the this one here. Yeah, cool. Netwatcher, nice to see you, nice to meet you. Thanks for taking a chance and stopping by. Always welcome. And Grindsaw, much appreciate seeing you too, man. I'll see you guys around. This is the sound of the day. At night, like after I watched a bit of TV, I always like load up my channel and hear the track from the day. I'm like, yeah, get excited for the next day. Cool. Share the love. I need subscribers, so just share the channel. But other than that, it'd be good. Yeah, I'll see you guys again at the next one. Peace out.